window has gotten to the point where clubs, more transfer plans and everything begins to come out. Now, in the last few hours, my chance on a document some Chelsea about some transfer plan. Some boys beyond what they want to do in terms of players and circle. In fact, there is one player most likely is going to lead Chelsea. Again, there is another one in the future, ain't confirmed just yet. We'll talk about that. And also some players that they want to bring in. Are Chelsea going to bring in a centre back in January or do wait to the summer? I said, I'm at a conversation around transfers now, but very, very important. Also, there is Nyami Ademochena game against Everton. I've seen Paul Merson more prediction in favor of Chelsea, saying that Chelsea can win that one. I don't know if Chelsea can go and win against Team your friend Everton, but what I know is that that's going to be a very difficult game on Stamford Bridge for Chelsea to play against them. The last time Chelsea were comfortable winners over Everton was that one against Tima. Was that one with coach friend Mauricio Pochettino in that first season under him. But I don't know if that is going to happen again. A lot of the updates I said, of course, Football Club Barcelona our updates and there was the extension of the contract of our brand friend Eric Garcia. We'll talk about that. There is updates also. Madrid fans, after playing that game against Team friend Manchester City, most of them have given thumbs up to Xabi alongside say, you know what, you need to solve the issues that's there at least for now. But most of them also are calling out a branch of friend Vinicius Jr. saying that it is Vinny and when taking the chances Madrid ain't win against Team friend Manchester City. We'll talk about all of that, of course, including Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, all of those things that we're saying of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Won't subscribe to the channel, and I'm sure subscribe to the channel, turn your notification, in the notification turn and choose all. Just so anytime your content ever drop, and be first person now, once I able to me Akabi, I see on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Charlie, it's important and now. I told you in the morning, say, for us over here, when it comes to this bet thing, we do it with our hearts. Honestly, I know how difficult it is for people to win bets. And that is why I put a team together to go through things like this. Constantly, we talk, we do the analysis, we look at it, we look at the blind spots every day. One of the things I look out for when I'm picking codes for you are the blind spots. To find a blind spot and say, okay, I see, a bit me a cause a problem, a bit me a cause a problem, a bit me a cause a problem. Let's take out those blind spots and give your boys the chance to win something. And then now, 2 codes did boom after not winning for I think 3 days now. We're able to win with 2 codes, and that is the 15 odds, and the 6 odds, all of them did boom. I see on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And the Friday games now, we go again. We've done the analysis, we've gone through, we've looked at it, and we go again. We go again tonight. Also, our games now on Italian Serie A, German Bundesliga, Spanish La Liga, and I think other games, our Netherlands as well, of course, the Turkish Super League. I brought you all of those codes in the description of the video below. Corner copy codes, just copy the code. If I go show bet you up, copy. And if I go show bet you up, copy. I go show bet you up, and then give yourself a big chance of winning something. I say on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, on the other side, let me say my thank yous to MOB Clothing. Makani several times say if it's about clothes, apparel, entire. And you want to look clean, you want to look dapper up, so look solid, yeah, then MOB Clothing is your guy. I'm sure call him on 059-313-8221. 059-313-8221. No frame MOB, yeah. He will take very good care of you. Friend, or to do a flower station, our car. He will take very, very good care of you. Of course, on the other side, yes, more spare parts, glass shop. Say, car on your man, yes, contact Yesumo today or Aboso Kind Post Office on 0200-668-708, 0200-668-708, and let's make sure say a Bibia come pub at the amount. Where do we start from? Do we start from Football Club Chelsea and I am Barcelona side on Fambra? Spanish La Liga. Where do we start from? Of course, let's talk about the clubs. And first off, there is a brand here friend Tyree George. So during the summer, Tyree George was subject to a move away from Stamford Bridge. In fact, Chelsea for nearly sold a brand here friend Tyree George. They wanted to take Tyree George out to Fulham. In fact, the deal was almost completed until the latter part of the break of the transfer window. And I Chelsea phone realized they need to hold on to him, especially when our brand here friend Nicolas Jackson was leaving the club to go to Bayern Munich. It was a very, very important one for them. And they decided that they don't want to let Abranteɛ Freno Tyreek George go and I'm keeping one. But of course, Tyreek hasn't been getting a lot of game time at Chelsea and it's affecting him. Me and Tora have contacted Enzo Maresca and any team. They've contacted Chelsea sporting directorship. The plan is that they want to take Tyreek George out of Chelsea. Omujidi strongly say Tyreek George will get to play more game time away from Chelsea. Places like Fulham and any other will give them Abranteɛ friend Tyreek George more game time to play his football. And they believe strongly, says Abranteɛ friend Tyreek George echo away no combine game or because they think that that's a very, very good one. Said Bibia maybe kama Abranteɛ friend Giovanni Quenda. So Chelsea boy Giovanni Quenda. Now Giovanni Quenda is a young European top talent. In fact, one of the things that Omomo Giovanni can say, Giovanni is the ultimate team player. Like when they say that somebody a player or somebody who can sacrifice for the team, work for the team, or no, the only Nina is about the team, then it's Giovanni Quenda. And there was an interview where Giovanni Quenda has done, where Giovanni comes in and says that when he goes to Chelsea, wherever Maresca plays him, he will play. No, he just wants to help the team. Now, Obeka, Giovanni was bought in the same time and region. He's in and around the same age as Abranteɛ friend Estevao. And Estevao obviously on the right. Giovanni can play. The plan for Estevao is for him to come central or for him to stay on the right and Giovanni goes to the left. And Giovanni is going to add to the pack. In fact, a lot of people were saying Senka Giovanni should join Chelsea in January. But the big issue is that Giovanni, a player, when you're injury in the ankle in the last few weeks, so obviously he can't join Chelsea in January. But obviously Chelsea for GD say Giovanni is going to come in hopefully in the summer. And once they get Abranteɛ friend Giovanni Quenda, he's going to go in and then go and get a job done and make sure that things are going to go in the right direction for Abranteɛ friend Giovanni Quenda. You see, William Gallas said something and I agree with him. I mean, when you look at Chelsea play, one of the things that Chelsea has still not quite gotten is that box dominant, that huge box dominant threat in both boxes. And in this case, Abranteɛ friend Victor Osimhen. Now, William Gallas said, to be honest, at the moment, I think they are missing one experienced player. And a player that can put Chelsea really on top for me is Victor Osimhen. And that is what Abranteɛ friend William Gallas said. And I think I can agree with him to a very large extent. I wanted to see him at Chelsea, says William Gallas. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But yeah, my dream is to see him play for Chelsea because with this quality, I think he can adapt to Chelsea perfectly, according to William Gallas and what Abranteɛ friend Victor Osimhen will be able to do. I think that Abranteɛ friend Victor Osimhen an important striker. If he's able to enter Chelsea, then he gives Chelsea a lot of ability to dominate the box, especially the opponent's box when you're attacking. You have that physicality, that duel winning ability. And of course, my kind of several things. One of the things that helps with our Abranteɛ friend Victor Osimhen, the ball manipulation and it's very important. In fact, in talking about transfer like this, something that feels like a transfer, a new player of a sort of Chelsea, Abranteɛ friend Cole Palmer arrival. And one of the reasons why Chelsea could not win against Team friend Atalanta maybe is because of Enzo Maresca's management of the players now. But that also has its positives. Positive in the sense that Abranteɛ friend Cole Palmer is going to get to play on Sunday, most likely with Abranteɛ friend Estevao Willian. I wouldn't be surprised if Enzo Maresca's plan is to have Estevao on the right, Cole Palmer central, and then play Alanda Garnacho on the left because, of course, maybe he would want to manage the minutes of Abranteɛ friend Pedro Neto, or he was going to put Pedro Neto on the left, Estevao Willian on the right, and then Cole Palmer central. Again, that will mean that he needs his fullback doesn't have to come. So maybe in this game, he can play with James rather as part of the back three. So he becomes with James, Trevor Chalobah, and then whoever he plays in with. Maybe he can be Wesley Fofana, or maybe Wesley Fofana central, and then Trevor Chalobah on the right. Then pushes Abranteɛ friend Andre Santos and Abranteɛ friend Enzo Fernandez or Parkland Fiifi. Now, it's going to come down to the battle of the middle because Kenan Drewsby or Eleman Ndiaye, Jack Grealish. This is not a regular Everton Everton physical midfield that is only about physicality. There is some technical strength over there, of course, although Abranteɛ friend Idrissa Gana Gueye provides the cover for them. No? There is also that technicality from Jacques Grealish, from Kenan Drisby Hall. And of course, it means that this is a game where Abranteɛ friend Andre Santos can play in. So if Enzo Maresca should be able to play with Abranteɛ friend Esteval Willian on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, and Kopama central, I think it works for me. I think that, to be very fair, that really, really works for me. And of course, it's something that's going to help the team when they go on against Team friend Everton. Because to be very honest, that Everton game is a must-win game. It is a must-win game. It's a game Chelsea for know 100% that they should be able to win some match. And if they're able to win the game, it puts them in a place where they are comfortable to go forward, to go and get more results, to go and win matches. And of course, they come back with a lot of confidence as well, because in the last 4 games, 2 losses, 2 draws, a little bit subpar for Enzo Maresca and in the Manchester. Not a little bit, it's actually subpar for Enzo Maresca and in the Manchester. Chelsea have bought Abranteɛ Burkinabe central midfielder. And I spoke to you about him, say, under 17 World Cup. That is where this boy broke out onto the scene. Now, people began to speak about him. People spoke about Abranteɛ, your friend Mohamed Zongo. Now, he's a good winger, good midfielder, can operate from the right-hand side, cutting inside, also African shared strength and ball carrying ability, so or shield the ball and heading, so be ball and feeding some. And his name is Abranteɛ friend Mohamed Zongo. Very important player. Very, very important player at Chelsea for them. They felt like a lot of the big European teams wanted to sweep in on Abranteɛ friend Mohamed Zongo. They did not allow that. They made sure say Abranteɛ friend Mohamed Zongo won't come into it until they were quick and were able to get Abranteɛ your friend Mohamed Zongo. Of course, the Everton game is going to be without Abranteɛ friend Moises Caicedo. And of course, if you are going to be without Moises Caicedo, then it means that is a huge blow to you, because Moises Caicedo, the physical protector of Chelsea backline. Of course, for somebody who has been compared to Abranteɛ friend N'Golo Conte, it tells you it's important. But Chelsea would have to adjust, and Caicedo got a bit more in terms of being able to bang in one from the outside. But of course, N'Golo Conte is always a take. Yeah, he was unbelievable. Caicedo is he has gradually improved, and he could go further and challenge. But at the minute, N'Golo has won it on. Of course, N'Golo Conte was an absolutely important player at Chelsea, on the ball, off the ball. And I say several times, there were times when N'Golo Conte will win the ball from an opponent and the referee just can't believe it. He can't believe it. N'Golo Conte and a winning ball on every opponent on them side, cleanly. So of course they go on and then they go and attack them, say a foul boy or Liam Delap, of course, it's going to be out against Everton. But then again, I think that's again one of the things that's going to be good for Chelsea is the combination of Joao Pedro and Abranteɛ friend Cole Palmer. Now, this is a very, very good relationship that was built at the Club World Cup. Joao Pedro and Abranteɛ friend Cole Palmer. If this is able to keep together against Team friend Everton, it should be an important one. It should be a very, very important game between Abranteɛ friend Joao Pedro and Cole Palmer up top, with Esteval Willian keeping the weight and Andre Santos central. The performance against Barcelona and Chelsea were statements, but they have followed that up with 3 below par performances where the standards haven't been there. It just keeping coming back to it. I feel like there needs to be more experience in the squad to help them get through these tricky games. The likes of Joe Cole have always said that there needs to be experience or Chelsea team name, but the Chelsea hierarchy say that there's no point for it. They want these boys to go together with these experiences that they're having. Once they get there, they believe they are going to get some understanding of things, and they're going to understand how things are going to go on. Of course, Paul Merson said this is a huge game for Enzo Maresca. If Chelsea don't win this football match, they could be out of the top 6. After beating Barcelona and producing a spirited display against Arsenal, Chelsea have failed to kick on. They have lost 2 out of their last 3 games in all competitions, and under huge pressure. But Paul goes on, he says that if Maresca wins this game, he can play the French players in the Carabao Cup. If he doesn't, he has to play the important players in the Carabao Cup. Paul Merson said Chelsea are most likely to go on and then go and win this one in the subsequent games now. Abranteɛ friend Eric Garcia was at the Civitas Esportiva And over there, Eric Garcia was able to be given that contract extension that he has been asking for a very long time until 2031. In fact, this season, one of the players that has been super important for Hans-Dieter Flick and Nemrant, and you see is the versatility of our branch FN Eric Garcia. Play at centre back, play at full back, play as a DM. Everything that you want from a branch FN Eric Garcia, he's right there and he provides that for you. And for me, that is what makes him stand out. He stands out in that regard. Ne ball playing ability, ne dual winning ability, ne technical ability to control games if he's playing as a single six. And of course, a La Masia trained player, so he understands the ins and outs of Football Club Barcelona. He has been important, super important. In fact, one of the most important players for Abrentia, your friend Hans-Dieter Flick. And this man is also a leader. Like I said several times, last season, Eric Garcia wasn't particularly playing, but this season, Hans-Dieter Flick has flagged him a little bit. Bono consistently, very important utility player. But then he adds a lot of things to Football Club Barcelona. And then himself, his family, Juan Laporta, Hans-Dieter Flick, everybody was there to sign that contract extension at Football Club Barcelona. And after that, on IG, you'll see 2031 with pride and responsibility. This is what I feel after renewing my contract with the club of my life. Pride in wearing the blue and red shirt for 13 seasons, and I still continue. Responsibility, because that means defending the colors and their history. That is what Eric Garcia, I mean, that is a player that you have to understand that he is important, and he's a very, very important player when it comes to our branch friend Eric Garcia and what he gives to the team. He's very, very important. Barca would have to do that, of course. And it means that over the past 1.5 years, Barca renewed a contract of 15 players, including players on the La Masia, players from new players that have come in. In fact, the likes of Wojciech Szczesny, Jules Koundé, Pau Kobasi, Ronald Arau, Alejandro Balde, Gerard Martin, Marc Casado, Marc Bernal, Frankie de Jong, Pedri Gonzalez, Xavi, Fermin Lopez, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Eric Garcia. All of them within the ranges of 2027, 29, 2029, Arau 31, Balde 28, Gerard Martin 28, Casado 28, Bernal 29, Frankie de Jong 29, Pedri 2030, Xavi 2030, Fermin Lopez 2029, Rafinha 2028, Lamine Yamal 2031, and Abrante Eric Garcia 2031. And so Barcelona keeping their very, very important players together. Now, in terms of who becomes the next centre back that Barca brings in fact, first off, the story of Ronald Araujo. Me sure say by now what say he is going to Israel for some spiritual holiday to sit out from football and then get his mind together. After that Chelsea game, Abrante Ronald Araujo has not been the same. He has had to go to Israel, has had to take time off, go to Israel, recoup his mind, get back into shape, and come in and play his football. And of course, a lot of the support from the Brogana, from Barcelona, Cromorum, and of course, even from all of us abroad, is Abrante Ronald Araujo, a very important player for Football Club Barcelona. But again, football sometimes can become a little bit cruel, and that game against Chelsea looked like a very cruel one for Abrante Ronald Araujo, and of course he needs to get back into his stop. And look at the history, the trajectory of Abrante Ronald Araujo. This is a young man that broke onto the Uruguayan football from a very, very humble beginning. He ended up to Barcelona B at a young age, and of course, Barcelona for a reserve team, helped the team in its worst period of the club history. Was the best leader in the historic 2022-2023 season with the best defensive record in the history of the club. You cannot let him down. Ronald Araujo, it's just a difficult moment that he is in. But of course, there's a man that's come through the ranks of Barcelona, and he has grown to be an important player. I think that if Ronald Araujo asks for some time to sit off and then calm his head down, come back to come and deliver, I mean, it's all in the right direction for Football Club Barcelona, and they have to give him all the plaudits for that. But in January, Barcelona are looking for a new centre back to come in. Who comes in at centre back? Because you see Eric Garcia, Christensen, Pau Kobasi, Gerardo Martin has been pushed out to a centre back. So the two centre backs become Gerardo and Abrante and Pau. Gerardo is a natural left-footed centre back, so he's able to play from there. But Barca have their eyes on their new LCB. New LCB, and it's very, very, very important. I brought here friend Marc Guehi from Crystal Palace. Now, in January, Barca can sign a pre-contract agreement with our branch friend Marc Guehi. Yes, they can. A very, very important player because also our branch friend Marc Guehi, he has experience, and also he was a leader of Crystal Palace team. He was somebody who was the captain of Crystal Palace. So obviously, once he goes into the Football Club Barcelona dressing room, he becomes one of the leaders. And Barcelona are very big on leaders, very, very big on leaders. Players will meet me as leaders that will direct others, that will push others to go to the very top. Apparently, friend Marc Guehi is one of them. He is absolutely one of them in terms of who becomes a leader. Our team, our tournament. Of course, we see how Barcelona are able to get a branch friend Marc Guehi, and yeah, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Bayern are interested in a branch friend Marc Guehi, including Chelsea for in January, of course. And it's going to be an important one for them, when we see who will be able to get a bench here, your friend Marc Guehi. Well, is it going to be Barcelona? Is it going to be Chelsea? Is it going to be a bench here, your friend? Is it going to be Liverpool? Of course, Liverpool for are very much interested in a bench here, friend Marc Guehi. If he's able to come to their club, of course, this weekend Barcelona are playing against Osasuna. Hansi Flick, what we are hearing is that there's going to be some level of rotation. Players be on Hansi Flick, but Mama Joma who make a cramasa for them to rest, and they will come in the second half. And of course, it's going to be very, very important. Of course, in front of Mundo Deportivo, in front of Sport, they are all talking about a branch of Eric Garcia, and of course, in front of Sport, almost for Eric Garcia, the captain of the Shadows. I say Dean or Techiri, and Jumano Honam, he is making sure that things are going to go on well. In 2012, Jordi Cruyff, we had to choose between Rafinha and Antony. In the end, we ended up with Rafinha because he was already doing well in the Premier League. If he flopped at Barca, he could still sell him for a good price. For Antony, it wasn't the case. But Antony was important for Team FN Real Betis. Denzel Dumfries will remain with a 25 million release clause for the next summer. Barca amongst the clubs that are interested in a branch here, friend of Denzel Dumfries, because of course, Barcelona are very much interested in a branch here. Your friend Denzel Dumfries, and they will want to add into the pack of players who can go on to the football pitch and make a lot of difference. No? Barcelona himself, branch here, your friend Denzel Dumfries is going to be an important one for Football Club Barcelona if they're able to get him. And of course, Denzel Dumfries is a super player. He can add a lot to it in terms of fullback. He can play as a wing back if a branch here friend Hansi Flick wants to play with wing backs, and he can offer that as well. Sartre from the wide area, they can also be the conversation of a branch here. Your friend on the other side of a branch here, your friend Zukunde. If you want to have more width from that area and include more directness and more creativity from that area, then definitely you need to add a branch here. Your friend Denzel Dumfries, who can go in and then deliver and then play some very, very good football for Team your friend Football Club Barcelona for things to go on very, very well. Let's move on because there's some more conversation. I say it's not done. There's a conversation for the rest of the clubs. Of course, we go to the camp of Football Club Real Madrid. There is updates this morning, of course. What is Madrid going to do? And there was a Crunch Madrid meeting between Football Club Real Madrid, any team, of course, the leadership of Football Club Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso, Safi Alonso, Ekukushia Madrid in Penny Vono, and it was an interesting conversation. Safi Alonso, Koko Duru Onum, and I said, Masa, Madrid phone says Safi, a Jumanu Timinya, Fato. Take the job, put down. Safi Alonso say, Chief, I go fi do the job. The job, you know what they do. Make you people cool down. Make her do the job. You know, be say, I no go fi do am. I go fi do am. You people for cool down, make her do the job. And what we hear is that on Sunday, Alonso and the man are going away to go and play against Deportivo Alaves. Can it be the end of him if he doesn't get a 3 points away? I doubt. But that is a crucial game for Football Club Real Madrid on Sunday. Because Barca playing against Osasuna, if Barca gets the job done, they will feel at the Spotify Camp Nou. And Real Madrid go away to Deportivo Alaves and don't get the job done, it is going to pile on the pressure. It may not be the day of reckoning for Xabi Alonso, but it takes him close to the day of reckoning. Xabi Alonso fails to win on Sunday, he won't be fired according to Spanish media. I disagree. If Xavi wins on Sunday, he could also be fired. I don't think so. Of course, Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso could be fired if he loses on Sunday. I don't think that's the case. Of course, I think that Xabi Alonso will be given some more time. Real Madrid squad now fully supports Xabi Alonso. And I think that what they did is good and not also good at the same time. They have literally put the pressure on Xabi Alonso and says, hey, Xavi, you forgo and go get a win. You forgo there, then go get a win, give way. Because if you don't get a win there, yawa go fi happen. Make sure that we go in there and go and get a win for us. If you get a win, that is good. If you don't get a win, then there's trouble. Our Real Madrid squad are fully behind Abrantia. Your friend is Xabi Alonso, with respect to where it comes in. Zinedine Zidane's open letter after resigning in 2021. What hurts me more than anything is when I read the news after my bad results, and it said I would be fired if we didn't win the next game. I hated it, and the whole team hated it because these intentionally leaked messages created a negative vibe around the entire squad, created doubts and misunderstanding. I had wonderful players with me who supported me to death. Whenever things got ugly, they saved me with incredible wins because they believed in me and they knew I believed in them. Of course, Madrid phone have been here before. To be very honest, I remember when Zinedine Zidane 2021, Zinedine Zidane put out this open letter about what happens to him when Madrid loses a game. The media in Madrid make it look like he's going to be sacked the next day. Usually, I think Barcelona protects their managers more than what Madrid does to their managers. And in areas that was for have come hard at Xabi Alonso, saying that he's going to, if he loses against Deportivo Alaves, he has to go. Real Madrid are absolutely not confident that this squad and that Xabi Alonso can turn the situation around. That is exactly what's going on. And now, like I said, it was a crunch meeting Valdebe Bazorum. And of course, Real Madrid's high leadership hates hearing the Bernabeu booing the team more than anything else. The Bulls last night against City heavily increased the pressure on Xabi Alonso. Charlie, Xabi Alonso is in for some trouble. And Real Madrid believe that their team is doing terribly physically. They believe that the players are very far from their peak physical shape, which badly needed to win games. Of course, in Madrid, it's about getting to the physical shape. Madrid can't wait to get Abrantia friend Franco Mastantuano and Abrantia friend Dean Heitzen back onto the field of play. It's important. There are still doubts for Abrantia friend Kylian Mbappe and Abrantia friend Eduardo Camavinga for the game against Deportivo Alaves, but Franco Mastantuano is back for Football Club Real Madrid. He is absolutely back to come and do the job that he loves for Football Club Real Madrid. We'll see if Madrid are able to get a job and if Abrantia friend Xabi Alonso is able to stay in there and get a job done. But so then, we'll see you. Bye.